Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. It's been a few weeks since I've been in, so I'm a little bit rusty, but here we are. 3-0 today. Not really what I was expecting. Obviously, 10 points dropped by Everton. I thought it was going to be like an almost new manager bounce. And for 20 minutes of the game, I think we were pretty poor. But on the whole, I thought we defended well. You know, you're not going to be absolutely first to everything when you're defending. And I think that what we did have to deal with, some great saves from Onana. I don't think it was as bad as people are making out. I think it was probably one of our most resilient performances, and of course our most clinical performance, I think, this season. And some really good performances, particularly by Onana. I thought Luke Shaw, really great to have him back, and I think with him on the pitch and possibly Hoyland going forward, I think that could be a really good combination there as well. Whipping in some balls. Dallo with an amazing assist today. Stu's joining us in a minute. Freddie, thank you very much for joining me, my man. I hope you're well. Over to you. How are you feeling?
Feeling good, thank you. Evening, Mark. Evening, everyone. Bit bewildered actually. I didn't expect that. I thought all the onus was on Everton. How well they're going to perform given their off the field issues. All of the talk was the crowd are going to rile up the performers, and I think everyone wrote us off before the game had even begun. So it was it's a fantastic win. I mean, probably Garnacho's goal is certainly one of the
Oh,
best United goals I've ever
oh,
seen.
I
And the
yeah,
timing of it was brilliant to
unbelievable,
silence the stadium.
unbelievable.
Mm.
Lots of talk about that. We will go on to this in a bit more detail. For
Hmm.
me personally, I remember very vividly the Rooney goal. I was in the pub with my granddad. Obviously, a massive game against City. Um, Overhead kick, and I remember absolutely going nuts. But if I tried to look at this as analytical as possible, I feel like this one was better. I don't want it to be about what's better. Everyone wants to kind of draw lines and have one better than the other. It doesn't need to be like that. But I feel like with the pace of the ball, how he had to step 3 or 4 yards away from goal and then still get his body in the air like that and actually catch it really well. I thought it was absolutely sensational, and I'm sure we'll talk about that for a long, long time to come. Definitely going to be goal of the season. I can't imagine anyone's going to get better than that, right?
No, I totally agree. And look, the Rooney one was brilliant. I mean, I remember it as well. And I think the occasion, it being the Manchester derby, probably helped that as well. Don't get me wrong, it was a fantastic goal. But I think technique wise, as you allude to, Garnacho having to step back, the ball was further behind him. He had to make those 2 or 3 steps before connecting, and it was off his foot. I know sometimes Rooney gets a bit of stick there. It was off his shin, but it was just superb. The distance as well. I must admit, I gave it a second because you just don't know the linesman,
Yeah, you
VAR,
always have
times have
to
changed since
celebrate
the
things
Rooney goal.
twice, don't you? Yeah.
Exactly, which was a shame, but yeah, brilliant. And look, just in terms of the performance, it's great to see all of our attackers get on the score sheet. I mean, prior to today's game, we had one Premier League goal from our attack. I think that was Rashford against Arsenal. All three got on the score sheet today. All three who started. It wasn't the most convincing performance, I'll be honest with you. I think on another day, Everton could have got 2 or 3 goals.
Yeah.
They were getting a lot
Yeah.
of headers, and they hit the bar as well. So we're quite lucky in that respect. But look, a win's a win. We got the 3 points. I think that puts us on neutral goal difference now. I think I've
It
read we're four
does.
or 6 points off the top of the league. I
Six
mean,
off the
how's
top.
that happened?
Six off the
Bonkers.
top. Which yeah, I wanted to talk about that a little bit. It is strange because we haven't been good this season. Not everyone's privy to that, but I think really, if you look at every other team in the league, no one's really been high flying. No one's really been that consistent. Man City went through a bit of a poor few games, didn't they? Chelsea completely off it. Arsenal seems to be playing really poorly every week, picking up points. And of course, yeah, it's a weird one, but yeah, we look at it now. I think our points tally is only a couple behind where we were last season, and we're only 6 points off the top. It's not bad, is it? And if we're trying to piece things together and get the team sort of balanced and get the right players in and all that kind of thing, I think it can only get better from here. Yeah, Van Persie, that goal was absolutely sublime as well. I remember that very vividly too. Unbelievable. Yeah, a couple of other performances I want to talk about. Martial today. As soon as he started, I saw lots of comments all over the place. Probably going into him a little bit much. Listen, we've spoken about it a few times, Freddie. We've been very underwhelmed, haven't we, with his performance, particularly of late. But then he seems to come up with these moments, and these moments are now becoming few and far between, aren't they? But that finish for me was typical Martial,
Mm.
and a very good finish. But he also had some very starved of service today. But the bits that he did have, I thought he held the ball up. There was a couple
Hmm.
in the first half, held the ball up, just came to nothing. In the second half, very, very instrumental, I felt, and a good performance from him. But what do you think?
Look, there's definitely a player in Martial. I think the main frustration is just his fitness. I mean, the amount of games he's missed since he's been at the club is
Yep,
overwhelming. So
I'd
when
like
he
to know
does
that
play, he
stat
does have
actually.
his
Yeah.
moments. Oh, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't because it's probably going to be a huge eye opener. But when he on his day, he there's a player in there, and I think certainly against Everton, Everton seems to
hmm
be the team he loves playing against. I think he's
Not,
got nine
not
goals
nine
against them.
goals. Yeah.
That's right. The most, I think, against any other Premier League opposition. So, yeah, he was very influential today. He took his goal very well. I think the assist and the pass from Bruno was brilliant to find him. Of course, brilliant first touch to take it, and then little dink over Pickford, and a bit of a
hmm
shout out to Palestri as well. I think he was very
Yeah,
influential
yeah,
in those
yeah.
five
He
minutes
was.
to sort of pass to Bruno beforehand. And of course, he won the penalty. So very thankful that
Mm.
VAR did its job today
Did.
because to give that as an initial dive, I mean, you could see it when it was live
Yeah,
that it
you could see
wasn't.
you. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, as soon as he hit that, I thought I was screaming penalty, and you just could. You can always feel it, almost, can't you? You can see where the kind of the body parts kind of move in particular directions, and you could see that. And I was very surprised that it was giving us a dive, but fortunately, as you say, VAR intervened and got it right for once. Sorry, go ahead.
No, exactly. So, yeah, look, very influential. I didn't think he had much to do apart from that. He did hold up play
Mhm.
in phases of the game, no doubt.
Yeah,
But look, with Martial, he's hot and cold with his fitness.
yeah.
So, I'd like to say this will be Martial now. He can go on a bit of a streak, but
Mm.
you just don't know. And unfortunately, he's had ample time to prove his fitness. So, I think when Rasmus comes back, he'll be demoted to the bench, Martial, unless he does have a bit of a streak fitness wise, but that remains to be seen. But equally, I don't think Everton were great today. I did mention earlier they had a few chances, but their defence wasn't great. There were times when we were playing them off the park. I'm sure we'll come on to Kobe Manu shortly, but I think he was the best player on the pitch today. And given he's 18, 19 against an experienced Everton midfield, that says it all. So equally, not great from Everton, especially given the occasion and the pre-match build-up. But
Yeah.
yeah, Martial, very good game today. I think we'd like to see, or we've expected that more of him, or more of these types of performances from him in the past 8, 9 years. But yeah,
hmm
just good to see him get on the score sheet as well as Rashford and Garnacho, because our attackers have just been starved of goals so far this season. So hopefully, this is now a turning point.
Yeah, absolutely point. We need that turning point. We've been calling for it for
Hmm.
weeks, haven't we? So we definitely need that. Sean, great to have you with us again, buddy. I hope you're really, really great. Six off the top, and yet I keep being told how rubbish we are. There's no performance rating on the Premier League table, and I think that's what we have to try and understand sometimes. You're absolutely right. As we already said, Man City haven't been the best. Arsenal have been poor every game, but do keep picking up points. Have won a fair amount of theirs, and yeah, 6 points is nothing. And this is why I'm saying we'll look back at this if we do have a turning point, do start picking up some wins, maybe have a bit of momentum, and maybe could be there or thereabouts. I'm not talking about the title, but really sort of climbing. We'll look back at these last few months and think, thank God we didn't drop more points. Thank God we were able to gain 3 points here. On a few occasions, eight. We've lost five. Okay, so it's not a good ratio. I agree, but we could have dropped so many more, and I think we might look back at this, and that's what I'm hoping anyway. The optimist, sorry, in me is is hoping that's going to be the case.
Yeah, I think
Also,
perspectives.
go on.
So I think perspective is an important thing as well. I mean, we've had, given how many injuries we've had,
I
given the
think
off
it's a
the
big
field,
thing.
it is a big thing. And look, there's no doubt we're the most scrutinised club in the league. There's no doubt about that. If not the world, I'll go as that far.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
we have, pressures that other clubs just don't get in terms, the manager, the Gary Neville always says it, doesn't he? The United manager, United goalie, everyone. Given given the struggles we've had this season, and for us to be not a million miles away, it's quite incredible, really. Now
it
you can
is.
argue we've played lower league teams. My response to that would be there's no easy game in this league.
Yeah,
Luton nearly beat Liverpool, for example. So you can only beat
should
who's
have
or plays in
probably.
front of
Yeah,
you. They should have, yeah, unfortunately. But look, December is going to be a hard month.
mm,
You're absolutely right. We had to win these games, and I think winning them as well. I don't think we've drawn a game this season. So
no,
it's
that's
either
right.
win or lose. So that's probably helped in terms of the point accumulation. But December's going to be the telling one. We've got a very, very hard few games. We had
Yeah,
today was a must win because I think now we've got Galatasaray, Newcastle, and a few others. So
yeah.
fingers crossed we're on the right track. But yeah, I don't think it's been as panic mode or as disastrous as
Mm,
others or other fans, the media have portrayed it to be. To be
yeah.
honest,
Yeah, I think you make some good points there. And Stu and I spoke about this a few weeks ago. I think injuries are a massive, massive thing. I don't want to go into this too much because we have covered it before. But, if you don't have consistency and a strongest 11, I don't think Ten Hag has been able to field his strongest 11 consistently. You play your strongest 11, but then you've got to allow them to play consistently together as well. So that hasn't happened, and you can't have the best of both worlds there. John, you need to make sure you keep coming back, mate, because I'm loving all these things coming through. But this as well, 5 clean sheets now in the league. I know our problem has been sort of creativity and scoring. That is a big problem. However, we also moan about clean sheets and the defensive. But if that's joint top, it says a lot about the league as opposed to us being the focal problem, right? I think that's massive, absolutely massive. Stu,
just on that.
thanks. Yeah,
So,
go
sorry. Oh,
go on, Freddie.
sorry. Just on that before you move on. So, I think Onana's been superb the last month
He
or so.
has. He
Given
really has.
given the scrutiny he got, and rightly so in certain matches and cases, but it's been brilliant. But I think it also tells how Ten Hag is setting up. I mean, there's a bit of an opportunity cost here because I think he has been setting up not to lose, and whilst doing that, he has sacrificed
Yep.
the way he probably wants to implement his style of play.
Yep.
Hence why we haven't scored that many goals. But because of the injuries, he probably has had to tighten up at the back. And I don't think it's a coincidence you're seeing more clean sheets and then a lack of goals. But now we are
I
getting
agree.
players back. Now we are getting a bit of stability and
And
consistency in the squad.
that
We might
that is
see a bit
that
more
is such a
fluidity.
good point, Freddie. Sorry to interrupt there, buddy. That's such a good point. You remember last season we lost 2-1 against Brighton and we lost 4-0 against Brentford. All of a sudden we had to tighten up that defence, and then we went for a little bit of a run where we were struggling to score again, and then all of a sudden once we had that consistency, we then started to win games. He was able to open up, he was able to press a lot higher, and then we were able to score far more goals. Again, there's so many sort of finite details that you can't do all at once, that you have to kind of do in almost like a steps. Sorry, Stu. Long time, buddy. Sorry about that. Thanks for
Don't,
coming back, Matt. I know you've had a
don't
few
you worry.
issues. Good to have you. And it was
Fucking
supposed to be Hudson
nightmare.
tonight, but here
Nightmare.
we are. Talk to me about how you're feeling first of all. After that, we've spoken a little bit about Martial, but I do want to talk about Anana a little bit more. So if you can go into him after that, that'd be fab.
Yeah, well, actually, I'm buzzing, to be brutally honest, which is unlike me because I don't normally buzz after a game of footy. But I thought for about 20 minutes, I thought we were pretty solid. have to say I thought Garnacho played pretty well, but for me, Mina was the one. He was the man of the match by far. I know he didn't get it, but I thought he was. I think moving forwards, I think Ten Hag's got a bit of an issue with what he does squad wise, what he does 11 wise, who he trusts and who he doesn't. I think we seem to have our central defensive partnership sorted. I think Luke Shaw made a bit of a difference today. So I think all in all, it could have been a lot worse. Let's put it that way. It could have been a lot worse. If Everton could have taken 2 of their chances in the first half, it would have been a different game. But they didn't, and football's all about scoring goals, isn't it? I've seen the debate already about the Garnacho overhead kick, which is best, his or Rooney's. I don't think it's a conversation that needs to be had personally. I just think,
I agree.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But I think you guys are right, and I've come in right on the subject I wanted to bring up, and that's the Onana subject. And I think he's proven now to be the goalkeeper we were hoping and expecting. Yeah. The interesting thing about him, though, his kicking's got worse than his actual goalkeeping ability, which is really, really strange. But maybe he doesn't, and thought to himself, let's concentrate on goalkeeping first. I thought we were quite solid. I thought Rashford, there was a different type of Rashford today, whether it was his ginger hair or not, I'm not quite sure.
Could be.
There was a different
his partner as well. Maybe that was that was a big thing. You never know. We're all human. We're all human. We go through. We deal with things lots differently. But obviously, he's back with his partner. That could be a massive thing for him. That's great.
Yeah, exactly. I thought Bruno's back to something like we've seen in the past. He looked a bit more hungry, a bit more sensible with his play. Luke Shaw made a huge difference. I thought Maguire again was solid. I really did. I thought Lindelof was okay. All in all, I don't think we can be too disappointed. We're 6 off the top, which is unbelievable. I mean, I can't quite get my head around that. And we've got another clean sheet. So, we are the form team, aren't we? And we've maintained the form team, and results seem to be going for us. We haven't drawn any games. If we'd lost 2 less, we'd be sitting at the top of the table and potentially, and it'd be a different conversation. So I think if it was Ten Hag today, I'd probably write off Wednesday, if I'm being honest with you. People don't want to hear that, but I'd probably write it off. I'd probably go finish bottom of the group, forget about Europe, and just concentrate now on seeing where it'll take us with the FA Cup and the league. Because whichever way you look at it, if we win against Galatasaray, we manage to scrape through against Bayern, we're going to be out of Europe in the quarterfinals, aren't we? I think personally. So I would
very most. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would bin it and concentrate on the league and concentrate on everything, because we are 6 points away from the top, and whether we like it or not, and people can say we've been shite all season, it's an irrelevant. Football and winning the league is about hanging in there, and whether we have hung in there, and we could get some kind of momentum now. And that's so sorry to
No, it's one. Honestly, I've missed you two so much. Really great to listen to.
Well, it's good to have. It's good to have the guys back.
It's really, really great. But anyone in the comments, actually, I totally get where Stu's coming from, and I'm very much on the fence. Really, I'm always, and Stu is too, by the way. Trying to go for everything, but I do absolutely agree with you. I think maybe we should bin it. I think we should take the pressure off ourselves. Give us an extra few games every month's rest. And really focus on what's important. We got that from the owner's standpoint. We got that projection of money coming in, that influx of money coming in.
Yeah.
And really, it's we're not going to get past maybe the 16 quarterfinal, whatever. So I agree with you. But to everyone in the comments, do you agree? I'd see John's coming in and he agrees as well. But anyone else that might disagree, tell us why. What would you like to see? How do you want us to kind of set up on Wednesday at least? Really great points, mate. Thank you so much. We did talk about the goal. We did talk about Martial, and we did talk about a few other things you covered too. But absolutely right.
Just one quickly. Just quickly about Martial, by the way. Then that's how you finish.
Oh,
That is how you finish. You know, you let the ball run across you, lovely, and then you apply that dink. That 2 seconds of allowing that ball to run across you gives you that time to get your stance ready and just lift it. You know, I've been hypercritical of Martial, and this is the problem with him, isn't it? Because when you see what he can actually do, when he can be fucking bothered,
I know.
He's worlds apart, isn't he? And he knows now, I'm going to be playing. I'm going to be number 9 because Højlund ain't going to be there Wednesday. I doubt he's going to be there. We're away, aren't we? Saturday, Sunday. Newcastle, Monday,
8 o'clock.
Saturday, 8 o'clock. So he knows he's not going to be at Newcastle. A weight off the shoulders. I thought Palestri was decent when he came on. Amrabat did his usual running around and that type of thing. We seem to be, I don't want to say it, but there's it's almost that pinch of salt, isn't it, on a steak, just to finally season it. We seem to have that pinch of swagger back. I noticed, not all the time, but I noticed. I thought I'll pass it sharper. Remove Dallow outside.
I did feel that way today. I know there was a 20-minute period where we were poor, couldn't really create anything.
Yeah, but Mark, Everton are no mugs. Everton are no mugs. People can have a pop at Sean Dyche all day long, but he knows how to set up a football team. And when you've got that a threat of Decore, Calvert-Lewin, and the Russian guy who's on the left, you know, decent goalkeeper, decent centre half in Tarkowski. You've got a workmanlike side, and to break them down is always difficult. And I thought, really, we had 5 shots in total?
Yeah, I think
4 on target, and 3 hit the goal. So So sorry for babbling on, fellas.
No, you
can I just say
for 10 minutes? It's nice to listen to you. For that. Go on.
I think Martial's better than Martial's goal was him finishing the match uninjured. I know I've used that one with you two before, so I shan't milk it. But what was Mainoo's influence on the game in terms of, you mentioned our passing, better speed, better composure? Was that due to having a bit of stability at the heart of midfield, in your opinions, or what do you think is the reason for that? Because I think we've lacked exactly what you've just described, Stu. This is really, for me, the first time we've seen that confidence this season. Is it simply because there was someone with a bit of confidence and stability at the centre of midfield at the base, or do you put it down to something else?
I think there's a few things for me, at least. So if I could talk first, Stu, and then obviously you can add an answer too. I think sometimes when you're an inexperienced player, but also technically gifted, you can come in, you've got no awareness of any danger around you. You're not kind of up to scratch with that kind of experience, and sometimes you can just come in and play how you want. People don't know how to expect things from you. A lot of people compare him, and I'll credit Shane for this because he's absolutely right. A lot of people will compare him to Pogba, but actually I compare him to Thiago at Liverpool, at Bayern, at Barcelona. He's very, very similar to him, where he can pick up the ball, very, very intricate on it. And as I said, his spatial awareness of everybody around him is very, very good. I wouldn't really say he was a full 6, but he sat in that position very, very well tonight. And I thought he came in and was great. Really ticked for us. There's a couple of things I read earlier. Just for a few stats for you. I'm back. Successful draw 2, first in the team. Final third entries 6, which was first in the team. Passing accuracy was 86%, which was third. I think 88 was the top one. And Jules won 5, which was fourth. So some really big things there, particularly for a progressive midfielder that was laying further back the pitch. But yeah, I thought he was very good. He looked like the most experienced player on there, as opposed to Bruno and who else played? Who was in the midfield? McTominay and Amrabat. Even I think he outshone them massively. I thought Bruno was better, so I absolutely agree with Stu, but outshone them massively. Anyway, that's my 2 pennies. Over to you, Stu.
I couldn't have put it better myself, because the key to a good holding midfield player is the simplicity of football when you want the ball. You can never take that away from any player, and that's exactly what he wants. And what I mean by that is, when you take the ball and you're wanting the football, you've got an idea what you're going to do with it. So if you just get the ball fired into you, and you're not necessarily ready for it, then your panic sets up a little bit because you're not necessarily 100% set, and you're also not really sure who's around you, and you're not sure what to do with it. So it can be quite difficult. What I saw from Mino today, I thought he demonstrated not just a willingness, but a real sense of knowledge of the game for such a young lad. Whenever he took the ball, he took it in space. He was always, and he can take it, by the way, he plays in around it, but he always took it in space because he understands that 2-3 yards moving around is enough, or sometimes standing still is enough to give you the kind of space that you need. And I thought he played that really, really well. He also, when he took the ball, he wouldn't deliver it immediately. He would hold it and then move it. So there was on 2 occasions where in the first half, the first 10 or 15 minutes, the ball would come in, say from Dallo or from Fernandez, and he'd take it in the middle of the park, kind of around the centre circle, and it kind of turned away from impending trouble. Not trouble, but impending trouble. So Calvert-Lewin may be coming across him, so he's turning away from him and giving himself 2 or 3 yards type of space. You're talking Casemiro back in his early days. You're talking Luka Modric visibility. You're talking the Crooner type of visibility. You're talking Rodri type of. I hate Rodri, as you all know, but you're talking his type of visibility, an absolute calmness. You're not going to fluster me, whatever you think. And McTominay has never got that in him. Casemiro, if you remember last season, played in that type of way.
Yeah,
you know, he was almost anticipating what was going to happen. He was anticipating where the attackers and the opposition were going to be. I thought Mino today was, I've got to say, and I don't give praise out at all, I thought he was absolutely phenomenal. I thought he was terrific.
Yeah, he was very,
I mean,
good.
I mean, we knew that we got a bit of a player there, and we also know the dangers of a bit of a player. You know, we've had Garnacho find this lull, haven't we, after the highs of last season, find this lull, and he's got the season back. And Fernandez, you know, was saying, you know, he will be a great player. You're not now, you will be, but you've got miles and miles to go. Mino's, I choose my words carefully here. Yeah. Mino's in that fucking middle between greatness already and just a Premier League footballer. He's almost there. It's hard to describe
intelligence. We talk about this a lot, and I do think that really brings so much to your game. You can have all the ability in the world, but sometimes if you don't sort of preempt these things, if you don't have the kind of awareness and that football intelligence, it doesn't really.
Here's the thing for Mino.
If you've got the other one, if you've got the intelligence and the ability, of course, all these players do, it really is an excellent start, isn't it? And I think
he plays. He uses his brain. I mean, I talk about it all the time. You know, use your brain in football. He does. Ten Hag must play on Wednesday. Whatever happens, he must play Wednesday. Yeah. No point playing away at Goodison, having a great game, and then being benched for an away atmosphere like Galatasaray. You need to experience that. Yeah, this helps you grow as a person. You know, your personality side. So he needs to play. So, I thought he was my man of the match. Harry Maguire ran him close again, by the way.
You know, I was going to move on to Harry in a minute. I thought he was good today. Yeah,
he was absolutely solid again. You know, he was by far. I mean, I thought Luke Shaw was excellent. I really did. Yeah. I thought, you know, Garnacho's goal aside, I thought he was okay. I don't think he set the world alight, but you know, his goal changes things, doesn't he? Martial and his hard work. I thought Rashford again. You started to see something today. You started to see where we are, where we could be. As Freddie talked about, Anana is absolutely right. He's coming into his own very, very... how many clean sheets has he had in the last 5 games? If you take away the City game, Mark, you're the stat man.
5.
You know,
I believe. I think it's all 5, isn't it? I think we conceded. I
Is it
just saw
5 and
somebody
6
put
or
that a
5
minute
and
ago.
7
Yeah,
or
something like that.
Something
yeah.
like that, isn't it? And that's excellent. That's what you want from your goalkeeper. There's no coincidence. Big HM. He's the man. And people. I'm not seeing the praise for him. There's still no praise for him out there, is there? They
You
don't
won't.
like.
No,
Oh, wait till
won't.
wait till we get Leach back and all of this. If I'm Martinez, I'm thinking, I might have a problem here. You know what I mean? And that's how it should be.
Yes,
So yeah, really, really interesting. I just there's something about Mino. I really like, really like
really
him.
exciting.
I
We
think
get
his
excited about the strikers and stuff, and we've had a lot of those
Mm.
coming through, all inverted wingers, right? Inverted forwards. But sometimes the kind of younger talent coming through in the midfield and defence really go under the radar, and sometimes that probably plays into the hands quite well. But yeah, he does look exciting, and I think is someone that's talked about very highly for a couple of seasons now. Sorry, Freddie.
I think his performances were quite contagious as well. Actually, I mean, the first sort of 5 minutes, you could tell he was having the confidence. I think what you hit the nail on the head to do, he was taking the ball in space. He wasn't, it's a high risk, taking high risk passes or high risk receives, calling for it when there's people around him, for example. And I think we saw the likes of McTominay later on the game do the same eventually. He's shown that leadership as well, and the style of play that he was showing was contagious amongst the midfield. And I think we won the midfield battle today, and that's probably why we were so convincing with the win in the end, bar Everton's attack not being on target today. But look, for me, the parallel I take from him, not position wise, but type of stylistically wise, is I remember when Axel came through, Axel Tuanzebe, and albeit he was a defender, he was very calm and composed. He was doing everything right. Certainly, remember the PSG game, very good on the ball, very fast. I think the next few months and the rest of this season, it's a mental battle for him. If he can, I think once you get to this stage, when you're 18, 19, we know you've got the potential. It's now the mental battle. Can you develop into that player and become an important first team player for United? So fingers crossed we develop him. Fingers crossed Ten Hag bloods him in the right way. But hopefully he does, because we've potentially got a fantastic player on our hands. And if he continues like that, he'll be a starter ahead of the likes of Casemiro and Amrabat for the rest of the season.
Oh, 100%. I mean, look at the opposition. I thought Garner had a brilliant game as well. He's come into his own. Garner needed that move. Alanga, people were saying, we should have kept Alanga. Look what he's doing for.
It's easy to look at players that move on and do well. Sometimes
Alanga
you need
needed
to
that
have
move.
the move in order to do
He
well.
needed that move. Yeah, Mengi is needed that move at Luton Town. And, when you watch all our prodigies, playing, that's what we've developed. We should be getting more money for what we sold these guys for. With Mino, Freddie, 100% right. His mindset now has got to be right. He's got to have the right people around him. You're going to see it in the paper tomorrow. Garnacho's going to get the headlines with his goal. Then you're going to see, them wax lyrical about Kobe Mino. He's got to forget that. Switch off. Don't read the press. Don't read Twitter. Don't read anything like that. Forget it. Go out. Go training Monday. Get yourself ready to get on the plane Tuesday and have another solid game Wednesday. Then come back. Get yourself ready for Saturday evening, because we're going to need him now this week, because we can't. I mean, I suppose you could run Amrabat against Galatasaray if you so wished. I wouldn't. I would probably play a similar starting 11 as to what we've got. But whether we win or not, it just doesn't bother me. At all. I'd also play the Turkish keeper out there as well. Bayadir, give him a stab. He knows what it's like. Rest. We're now coming into December. We could lose Anana, couldn't we, in January? So you've now got to start blooding Bayadir. You know, if he's
Maybe
going to go,
Aaron Wan-Bissaka as well, if the reports are true.
DR Congo, isn't it? Did I read DR Congo?
Yeah, I don't blame him. I mean, there's a lot of right backs for England, aren't there? So and all probably a lot stronger than him for sure. So I don't blame him. So yeah, he could be off.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. But no, today's absolutely brilliant. As I say, if you look at the league, it's wow, it's phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't want to get ahead of yourself, though, do you? I do agree. And
No.
we were talking about this before you jumped on. And you just it's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult.
Yeah, league doesn't lie though. You know the bottom line is the league doesn't lie. Now, when we go up to Newcastle Saturday night after how they demolished Chelsea, although to be fair, Chelsea allowed them to demolish him, we are going to be in for one hell of a match. But it's winnable now. You know, these games are winnable. So
yeah, let's come on to. I tell you what. Excellent conversation for everyone tonight. You've been in for a treat, everyone in the comments. So if you enjoyed it yourselves, please like and subscribe. We're going to do ratings now. I want everyone that's watching to get involved as well. Put in your thoughts, whether you disagree with us, agree with this, whatever. Absolutely fine. Andre and Nana then first. I'll come to you on on all the players, I think, just because there's 3 of us today. But obviously we'll try and keep it as quick as we can. 8 long balls completed, 6 shots faced, 6 saves, 5 saves from close range. I know XG isn't really your thing, Stu, but 2.11 XG prevented, 2 out of 2 duels won, 2 high claims, and 1 punch, which I thought was quite funny. So yeah, over to you, Freddie. Your thoughts on him very quickly, and then of course a rating.
Yeah, good. I thought he was very good today. Very calm and composed. Made a few good saves. The Idrissa Gueye one comes straight to my mind when he tipped it over. But equally, a few of the corners, he was coming out for the corners. He was punching, like you said, and he rushed out to. He made one good 1-on-1 as well at an acute angle on the right hand side. So
is it Dominic Calvert-Lewin?
I think it was Calvert-Lewin, and maybe someone else. But it was a very well-rounded game from a goalkeeping perspective, and I think the confidence. If you have a goalkeeper who's performing, then that confidence exudes on the defence. Hence why you're probably seeing Maguire, Lindelof, etc. But performing. It's all interlinked, and this team's a unit. So it's come at a very good time. I think he is coming into his own after a shaky first few months, and he fully deserved the clean sheet today. So I'd give him a 7.5 today.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Stu, do you want to come in with any more? Or?
No, I think Freddie's right. I mean, the big question is, would he get into the mighty Tipton Town Super Vets team? And that's obviously debatable. But no, well, I could do, I suppose, if I needed to.
Well, I was going to say, if you are, then he might. However, if not,
I am the world's worst.
He doesn't play walking football, Stu. So
hey, I don't even do that now. It's Zimmer frame football, that is. I tell you. Actually, I was going to give him an 8. To be fair, so 7.5 is a fair score, and I'm happy with that. I thought he was great today. I did. I thought, you're seeing somebody command the box at long last. We've been calling for it, and mark my words, everybody, because if you watched the show 18 months ago, I did tell you that rise of Harry Maguire would come when there's a better goalkeeper behind him.
Yeah, we did, and I was part of that. Just to be very,
we've always said that.
May have been there as well.
We've always said
you're
that.
Right, and we talked back as far as Henderson. When Henderson came in for that 6 months, I get there was a few questions. Sometimes there was a shot from Liverpool that he probably should have saved. Can't remember what that game was.
Hip injury. During COVID. Hip injury.
Yeah, he had a hip injury. Yeah, but the improvement from Lindelof and Maguire at that point was astronomical, and everyone was like, but these are the same players that we see week in, week out. It's because there's a little bit more to it to that, guys. Yeah,
always
a little bit more to it.
Can I, before you move on, can I just ask a quick question on Arna? Apologies. You mentioned earlier that his passings regressed. Why do you think that is?
Because I think he's having to concentrate more actually being a goalkeeper than he had to when he was in Italy. Yes, he had to. I mean, when I watched him at Ajax, and if you remember Ajax, he was a superb shot stopper. He was very, very good.
Inter, and
Inter, but he wasn't great with his feet at Ajax. He was better with his feet at Inter. But then The forwards are lazy in Inter, aren't they? They don't close you down. You're never going to get away with it in the Premier League, ever. It was just never going to happen. And so he's doing what I think he should do, and that is bed in this season, show your true colours as a goalkeeper this season, and that will allow you to develop your outfield game after that. So that's what I think he's doing. I think he's totally looked at it and thought, I got to forget about my feet. Yeah, start using your hands.
Absolutely right. And I also think as well, we've been playing a little bit differently recently. I think you talked about it earlier. We've been trying to be a little bit more assured at the back. Now, in order for Onana to play those long, accurate, progressive passes, we need to be more on the front foot, probably be playing a higher line, and we didn't again today. So I think that there's a little bit of that as well, in my opinion.
I think that's why you're seeing Harry Maguire as well better. You're not playing with a high line.
Yeah.
So
absolutely right.
Absolutely.
Diogo Dalot, Freddie.
I'll give him a 6.
Isn't it?
Yeah, nothing. I mean, he got the assist for the wonder goal. I mean, unless that finish was as good as it was, it would have just probably gone out for a throw-in. So I won't praise him too much for the assists. Maybe that's a bit harsh, but
no, well. No, I do. Yeah, well.
But I think he was okay today. He wasn't great. I don't think Dwight McNeil really did anything on the left with Mikolenko. So probably an average 6 today.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. He's quite vanilla, isn't he, Dalot? So I'll go with a 6.
Yeah, no.
He peaked with the Sheffield goal, didn't he? A couple of games ago.
Yeah, well, that's it. I always say
that's his season.
I always say to the kids that I coach, don't peak too early in a game. Don't peak too early. Just he's done it. He's done his peaking.
I say that to my girlfriends as well, Stu.
My missus is still waiting for me to actually peak. That's what she says to me. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. I've got to look at your face again, have I? Jesus.
Exactly. It's a story of my life.
Yeah. I'll take Harry M. I'll take Harry M. My man. I'm not going to dwell on Harry M, but he was another solid 8 again today. I don't think he put too much wrong. I love his wrestling in the box. When the balls are coming, I love how he wrestles centre forwards. That's
in the wrong sport.
That's what my girlfriend says to me.
Hey!
It's been a few months.
It's been one of those. Fucking hell.
Mark's laughing because he knows Heather would beat the shit out of him if he said Heather would come diving into the room, grabbing in a headlock and Mark would go, fucking hell. Freddie said it.
I'm going to get to watch this back in a minute and she's going to laugh.
And so I just think he's been solid, Danny Maguire. So he gets an 8 for me. But I love how I defend like him. I love to wrestle and just piss people off, and I just love it. I love it. So he gets an 8.
Oh, honestly, this has been so fun, man. Thank you so much. You two have been really, really funny for a change. So anyway, Harry Maguire. No, I was only playing. Harry Maguire. I was trying to do my funny part, but it went like a lead balloon. Harry Maguire, very good. As usual. I'm so thank you. I'm so pleased he's had that turning point.
Did you see he got his apology from the Ghanaian MP?
See that. That was so funny.
Yes, I did.
I mean, I've got to be honest. Oh no, I can't say it. Never mind. I just think it's all a bit mental anyway. But anyway, we'll move on. Victor Lindelof. Now this should create a little bit more. So Freddie, you're nodding. There were a few times today where I thought he was so poor. So poor. And I really thought he was the weakest link in our defence today, in my opinion, even more so than Dalot, is my opinion. But anyway, you two. So Freddie, go on.
I know the moments you're referring to. It wasn't his best game. I think certainly aerially, Calvert-Lewin, every cross in the box, he was losing to him. We know that's not his strength. But equally, he made clearance off the line, saved us a goal from one of the corners. Garnacho's goal, it was his pass from the back that set off onto whoever on the right hand side. So he was involved. So a bit of a mixed bag. Look, Maguire was the standout from the centre back partnership. A few mistakes. I'd give him a 6. Just for a bit of balance.
I think that's fair. That's where I would have put him as well, because again, positionally, okay. You know, you can't argue with his positional play, but he's never going to beat Calvert-Lewin. That had to be a Maguire Calvert-Lewin face-off. Good from the back, distribution was good, but he made a few errors today. I think 6 is fair. I do.
Yeah, I might have given him 5.5 or a 5 for myself, but maybe
equally fair. No, I think that's equally fair.
Yeah, I think I might be a bit critical. I just remember that as a defender in particular, when you have those kind of standout glaring issues, that for me just kind of sticks. Do you know what I mean? And it's difficult for me to give him more than that. But yeah, listen, a 6 is fine, and I can.
I mean, if you just to finish, he is with Ten Hag liking this left centre back. You've got to remember he's probably third choice now behind Martinez, Evans, Martinez and Evans. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, he does well when he comes in, but yeah, he's obviously a stopgap on that left hand side until our injuries return.
I really want. I don't know what's going on, obviously behind the scenes, but I really want Varane back. I really want him in. I think even he and Harry Maguire, you play Harry on the left, which he does play fine. He played there a lot for Leicester City with his form at the moment, and Varane on that right hand side. I really want to see that until Martinez is back, perhaps, and even then, if you've got a bit of competition there, as you said earlier, Stu, great. Anyway, let's move on then. Luke Shaw, I'll come to you first, Stu. I know that you've lauded him tonight, so over to you.
Instant balance. You know, football's all about balance. That's what it is. That's half the game is balance and team setup, and he instantly balanced us. And I'm going to give him a 7. He made a couple of errors, but first game back for months. I don't know. Is it 4 months? Has he been out? I can't remember how long he's been out.
2-3 months.
Yeah, something like that. So I thought he was pretty good. He didn't set the world alight, but he offered balance.
He did.
And balance is key, and he offered stability. So he gets a 7 for me. Yeah, all day long. I can't give him any more than a 7, but I think a 7 is the first goal.
I was just going to say, Freddie, I don't know if you want to jump in as well, but I said earlier at the beginning of the show, before you arrived, Stu, that I'd like to see him play more with Højlund up top. I think he could provide so much more from a crossing perspective.
I mean, I'm going to go Reguilón, because I think Reguilón's been all right, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Reguilón's been too bad, and you've got that option to play
brilliant or not very good.
Yeah,
really,
but I think with Shaw now, you've got that option to play him alongside Maguire and put Reguilón in. I know Reguilón's injured at left back, and you've got quite a lovely balanced left side there, which we haven't had all season. So, but
maybe again, I go back to a conversation we've had many times. That left hand side, perhaps that's why we saw more from Rashford today. Do you know what I mean?
No, exactly. I thought he did okay on the right, but he was alive. Yeah. I just think, I think it'd be interesting to see what happens. I think Reguilón's going to go back, isn't he, in January? I would imagine anyway, because.
I think so.
Is it Malacia training now?
Yeah, he should be back. Should be back soon, I think. I think that was always a 6-month loan, wasn't it? I think we were quite lucky to get that in the end. Partly why Cucurella, although I'm pleased he didn't come at all, didn't go over the line for 6 months. So we'll have to wait on this one. Right, we're going to speed it up a little bit.
Sorry.
Really. No, you're good. It's been a really great listen to the both of you. Really great conversation. So Kobbie, Manu then. Man of the match for me. I know Garnacho.
Easy score.
I think you couldn't really not give it to Garnacho. I understand that just because of the goal. I think that just always, from a broadcasting perspective, you kind of focus on those really sublime bits that everyone's going to be talking about. Do you know what I mean? There is a little bit of that. But Manu was absolutely amazing today. So Stu, I'll come to you first on that one as well.
A straightforward 9 for me. You can't give 10s, and you should never give a 10. But But I
Unless
thought he
it's
was.
Harry Maguire, right, Stu? Yeah.
HM gets a 10, yeah. But I thought he was. It's a very, very easy score. Straightforward 9, no messing. I tend to agree with what you're saying about. But a goal's a goal at the end of the day. You know, if you cross that 10 times, he's netting it once.
Well, not 8 times, I think it was, wasn't it? 0.08.
It was.
I think.
But
So,
it is, yeah.
was the expected from that.
But he's scoring once anyway, isn't he? So look, great goal. Got no issues with it. But I thought, you know, Mino had the biggest influence, as Freddie said, on the team. So he's a straightforward 9 for me. Piece of piss.
Yeah. Freddie, you want to come in?
Just echo that. He showed very good maturity and composure throughout the game, and you know, even I think he made a very good goal line clearance as well. We had 2 goal line clearances. Yeah, important at both ends of the pitch.
No man's land. Came off your man Harry. It wasn't his fault, and he was there running back.
Harry was there, wasn't he? The thing is, though, people say about own goals, right? And you've got to remember this, guys. The only chance you score an own goal is if you're actually in the right position that you should be. That's the only reason you get an own goal.
That is true. You're not wrong, actually.
Well, no, not wrong.
That's one way to look at it.
Yeah, people are, you know, I scored an own goal a couple of seasons ago, and the gaffer was going, "What were you doing? What were you doing?" I was in the right place, gaffer. Right, and he just looked at me
again.
No, he just looked at me. He goes, "Yeah, but," I said, "But what? I was where I should have been. What's the problem?" You know, and he turned around and started, you know, moaning and wumbling. I just turned around to the lads and said, "Well, what do you want me to do?" You know, the thing is, let me tell you something about this, and this is really true, right? If the ball is fizzing in at you and it just happens to come off your thigh or your arse or whatever, your knee, and goes in the goal, what's worse, having it hit you and going in, or actually moving out the way and it's still going in?
Yeah, I do get you. Do you know what? I've got so much to clip up today. This is going to be good fun. But no, I do get you.
If you think about it,
Stu, before we move on to Scott, and I'm going to give these 2 to Freddie, Scotty, and Bruno. Did you ever play again after you said that to him?
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, I didn't.
Of course.
Come on, I mean, yeah. I mean, I didn't. I just said, you know. Anyway, it's just one of those things. You are sorry.
A few months on the bench, and then you made your return, but. After that, it was.
And then he had an interview with Piers Morgan, and he was off.
I got sin bins 4 matches ago. Right? I didn't even know sin bin was in because I don't pay attention to the rules or anything like that. I don't read the rules or whatever. I didn't know the sin bin was in. I was giving the ref a bit of aggro throughout the game, and he gave away a free kick. And I said to him, "Look, are you being serious?" And turned away, and I think I muttered "fucking tosser" or whatever under my breath, and he sin binned me. 10 minutes.
Do they give the? Is it an orange card?
No, it's a yellow card,
and then
you get sin binned. I blame Biggs for that. It was his fault.
Yeah, I was so far removed. It was my fault. Yeah, Freddie, Bruno, and McTominay. In fact, because I haven't done it for a little while, I feel like I need to say a couple of things again.
Here we go.
Probably Minu, 100% tackles won. 57 touches, 34 out of 41 passes completed, 86%. We spoke about that earlier. 5 duels won, 3 ball recoveries, 2 out of 3 dribbles completed, 2 long balls completed, 2 interceptions, 1 clearance, and 1 block. I mean, you can't have any more, really, can you? Amazing. And then
he could have had 39%.
And 2 blocks.
2 blocks.
All right, come on. We are not perfect. We aren't me or Freddie. Yeah. Scott.
Freddie would have had 4 blocks. Freddie would have had.
I'd have been in the right spot. Tell you that, and it wouldn't have gone in.
Yeah, and he wouldn't have
goal.
Too right. I'd have been in the right place. I'd have stood stronger. I'd have stood tougher. You must have turned to the side and come off your hip.
Yeah, exactly.
Great fun.
Right.
What great fun.
Sorry.
Go on, over to you.
McSauce. Do you know what I read earlier? We've likewise with Maguire. I think we've won 5 out of the last 7 with McTominay
That's right.
starting.
7 games, 5 wins, 2 defeats, 9 goals scored, 7 goals conceded, 71% win rate.
Yeah. Look, he's not a world class player. He's not going to lift everyone, do the overhead kicks and whatnot. But I think today he was physical in a physical Everton team. That was his main job. Tackle, get set pieces, get on the end, help defend them, and whatnot. So I'll give him a 6.5. But he did a decent job. I think his passing improved as the game went on as well. So yeah, long may it continue. If we continue winning with him in the team, so be it. He's doing a job. Why not? And then Bruno, I'd probably give Bruno 6.5 or 7. I'm a bit torn. His assist for Martial was brilliant. Like the Bruno of old, brilliant. But there were a few occasions in the first half where he was quite sloppy with his passing. So I'll give him a 6.75 because I can't decide between the two.
6.75. Have we ever had a 6.75?
Well, there's always time.
That's the first one.
82% pass accuracy, 64 touches, 40 out of 49 passes completed, 17 out of 20 final third passes completed, 6 ball recoveries, 5 long balls completed, 3 key passes, 2 out of 2 air duels, one big assist. No, one big chance, one assist.
Oh my god! I like how Mark just knows this off by heart. He's
amazing.
AI.
Amazing AI.
It's not. He doesn't even follow Statman Dave. It's just straight off the cuff.
How do you know that's who I look at?
He knows his stuff.
So you're telling me we've all had a look at it, and that's where we get everything from, and we're all the same, right?
Mate, I've got Y Scout on the other screen. I don't know what you're talking about.
I won't be a Y Scout.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, mate, I've enjoyed today. So I'm sorry, everyone in the comments. I'm sure you've enjoyed it too, and I hope you're having a giggle too. But it's been really great fun. The missus is going to kill me though. Firstly,
yes, I'm a bit earlier.
Yeah.
Secondly,
why are you in that room, Mark? Why are you in that room? Usually you're in the other room.
No, I am in the office. You haven't been here for a little while. We did a little it's for after the show, really. But anyway, for everyone, did a little office rearrange, and I've moved from over there to here. And I'm facing the other way, so I've got a map of Hyrule above me for any Zelda fans out there. Anyway, Garnacho and Rashford, Stu.
Rashford 7. His penalty, by the way, was top draw, brilliant penalty. Garnacho, you've got to give an 8 because not because of his goal. I just thought he was quite influential. Not as influential as he could have been.
I would have given him a 7 personally. I thought his goal was amazing, but I don't.
Okay, I'll go with that. I'm not. Yeah, I'll go with that. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the 7. Maybe I was going a bit. Maybe his goal got me.
Of course. I think maybe I might be being a bit harsh too. To be fair, let's say 7.
No, I don't think you are. Football's all about what you do during a game. That's it. Whether you're on for 20 minutes, 10 minutes, or 90 minutes, it's about what you do for a game. During the game. And there were patches where I thought it was non-existent, patches where he gave the ball away, but then the lad popped up with a brilliant goal. I'm not going to say worldie because there's no such thing as a worldie.
I think it was, mate. Honestly,
but it was a very good goal. It was a very good goal.
Doesn't get goal of the season. I will be absolutely shocked. Absolutely shocked. It was incredible. It was incredible. Had me off my feet. We did do a little bit of a comparison. I didn't want to kind of bring that into play, but he had to take a few steps. The ball was traveling quicker.
Yes.
I just thought it was absolutely perfect. Perfect.
It would have been better if he'd taken it down on his knee, juggled it twice, and then popped it in. Now that would have been a proper goal, but
he probably would have been tackled by that point. See, this is why you play Zimmer frame football, okay?
Okay, now there's no need for that. Jesus Christ. To be fair, though, I probably would have clattered into him because I'd have been too slow. I'd have been like crawling at him like that. No, it was a good goal, and I understand the comparison. and I do get it. I do, but goals like that, they come across once in your lifetime, once in your career. And that's the thing about it.
Another one like that. That's for
no,
sure.
exactly. So I think 7's fair. Actually, yeah, I'll go with 7. But Rashford, I thought, has had his best game for a long time, and also like what Bruno did, give him the penalty, get your confidence going. I don't like confidence in football.
I saw so many people moaning, "Oh, just give it to Bruno, FPL," or because they don't like Rashford. And I'm just thinking,
get on with this. Yeah, get on with it.
Well, he had to score, didn't he? If he misses that, then you're going to get the stick.
Fair play to Pickford. He went the right way as well. He wasn't clawing that one out. So, no, great penalty. Great penalty. 7's for both. I think it's fair.
I would just say I would disagree on the Rashford's praise. I don't think he had a good game. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Better than what he's had in a while.
Better than what he's had.
I think he ran into a couple of players again, and I understand.
It wasn't great, but I think
moments you remember. I think it's one of those again.
I think it could be a kick-on game for him. I do.
I hope so.
It could be a kick-on. So, but no, I think you're right, Freddie. I mean, I wasn't, suggesting he had a great game because he didn't. But I think when you look at 6 weeks ago to today, there was a huge. There really was a big. So that's the only reason.
I do agree with that. Yeah, I do agree with that. I think you're absolutely right with what you said there.
Yeah. And he's got the week off now, hasn't he? So I think he's suspended Champions League. So
yeah, have the week off. Don't travel. Go training. Get yourself sorted, ready for because Saturday is going to be He's either going to be against Trippier or Dan Burn. So I'd be looking at both of those all week in training. How can I get around Trippier? How can I get around Burn? That would be my only focus in training this week. If I was Rashford.
Yeah. And coming on to him now, actually, I come to you on Martial. With how he played today, with the little amount we had it in the first half, and then how he played in the second half and his runs and the finish, I wouldn't be opposed to him starting. I really want Højlund to start that game. Really, really do. But if Martial starts, I'm actually quite comfortable with that. Anyway, Freddie, Martial.
Yeah, I agree. I'd start Martial. I think, there's been a lot of big burden on Højlund so far this season. He's played every game. Ten Hag's had to forcefully sub him off 70, 75 minutes in order to preserve him for future games. So, yeah, if Martial can ease that burden, brilliant. So I would start Martial. Like we mentioned at the beginning, he got the penalty today and he took his goal very well. Hopefully you can go on a bit of a run. It's with Martial, it's more fitness than form. Although we don't know if it's form because he's never fit. So if he can stay fit, then brilliant. I think you just got to just play him because he's probably going to get injured. So might as well make him earn his wages for once.
Interestingly, you mentioned the penalty. Actually, you gave Ashley Cole no chance. Ashley Young had nowhere to go. And Ashley Young, by the way, played Garnacho perfectly. You got round me twice. Now I'm going to fucking have you. Get round me again. That's perfect football. That's perfect fullback play. He didn't even bother with the ball. And did you see when he took him out? He just got up and whatever. He just knew he was going to. That's what you do. That's exactly how you do it. And I just thought to myself, that's exactly how you deal with upstarts like that. That's proper experience. I'm going to have you. I'm going to do your knee height, so I'm not going to hurt you. I'm going to injure you, but I'm going to make you think next time. And he kind of did in a way. He did make him think. Ashley Young, what is he now? 37?
6, 7.
He's 6, 37. Yeah. Still a quality player. His delivery.
Always
he is. He loves it, doesn't he?
He assisted the penalty as well, didn't he? So, yeah.
Well, like I say, sorry, I was going on about. He had nowhere to go, Ashley Young. You had two choices: either take him out or Martial scores. It really was because Martial, the speed that he went in. He had no choice, Ashley Young. How he got done for diving, I'll never know.
Before you came into this, I was just saying, thank God VAR. It's a game where we're not talking about VAR. It's not many we've had this season. It actually, it did its job today. So we could see when it was live, it was never a dive.
I do think VAR, since all of the commotion we've had over the weeks, I do really think it's had a massive improvement in the last couple.
Some
I think they've
things,
had to.
yeah. I
I
mean,
think they've had to.
the interesting thing about that, the Martial foul was, and most people don't really consider it. Usually, when you're in the box and you're running in and two players collide, there's some kind of shoulder motion as well as the foot tackle. There was nothing. It was just Ashley Cole block tackle, and they go over he goes. So he didn't need to go in with the shoulder as well. So there's some kind of upper body and lower body movement that allows that really focuses the referee on that. There wasn't. So, but I still don't know why he gave Martial as a dive. I couldn't quite work that out. It was just really
he didn't even protest, did he?
No, Martial just. I think Martial was
he just
stunned.
took it and walked off.
I don't think he probably happened so
I
quickly.
don't think. I think he was stunned, Fred.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. I think he was at full pace into there. He didn't really remember it. You know what I mean? You go through those glimpses moments where you just like, I don't even know what happened there. Do you know what I mean?
The thing about that is as well, when you're falling over and you're diving, you're waiting for Pickford to absolutely clatter you. You're always waiting for that as well, because Pickford will be at the speed of the way Martial was going and the speed that Pickford would have been coming out. It could have been quite a nasty.
He'd have been injured for the next 2 years.
I'd have been done. Yeah, it'd have been done.
He didn't.
He got no choice. So Young had no choice. I know he was trying to protest his innocence.
Yeah, but you've got him in those.
Yeah, which you've got him. And I would have been going. I'd have been going. Come on, ref. What are you doing? Dive, and all that kind of stuff. But no, it's quite. I was pleased for Martial today. I've got to be honest, and I think overall, I think when they go to Carrington tomorrow, I think they'll all be pretty pleased of how it's gone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Right, we're going to end it there, guys. We've run over.
Yes, sorry.
Really appreciate it. No, don't be sorry. Do not ever be sorry. Absolutely fine. Yeah, really good show today, guys. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm still going to be off for a couple of weeks, I think, but I'll be back sort of mid-December, I think, at the earliest. But yeah, really, really appreciated it today. At least we got a 3-0 win, something to celebrate, something to actually dissect, and something, a lot of things to go through, which were kind of positive for us, really. So that was quite nice. But yeah, Freddie, Stu, really appreciated your time. Really, really good listens.
Sorry I was late.
Yeah, to everyone, obviously, in the comments, really appreciated all those comments too. Come back next time. Yeah, until then, we will see you next time.